Perhaps you've noticed things aren't quite like they used to be. Maybe you find yourself wishing for a bit more spontaneity, a bit more confidence in those private moments. It's a common experience, isn't it? As the years add up, our bodies change, and sometimes that includes areas we'd rather didn't. It can feel frustrating, maybe even a little disheartening, when the physical spark doesn't quite match the desire you still feel inside. You might worry that this is just how it is now, that it's an inevitable part of getting older and there's nothing much you can do about it. It's easy to feel like you've lost something, like a certain part of your life is fading away. But what if I told you that wasn't necessarily the whole story? What if I told you there are things, simple, natural things, that can make a significant difference even later in life? As a surgeon, I've seen a lot over the years, and I've met patients from all walks of life at every age imaginable. And one patient in particular stands out. He was 90 years old, and he came to see me, not because he had a problem, but almost as a checkup, full of life and vigor. What struck me wasn't just his age, but his incredibly robust health, including in areas where men typically see a significant decline. I was so intrigued by his energy and vitality that I simply had to ask him his secret. He shared with me a daily ritual, a series of simple habits he'd been following for years. It wasn't complicated, it wasn't expensive, and it certainly wasn't some kind of miracle drug. It was grounded in nature, consistency, and a deep understanding of how his body worked. In this video, I want to share the essence of that ritual with you. We're going to look at the key components of his daily routine that he attributed to maintaining his remarkable health, and yes, his ability to still enjoy intimacy with confidence well into his 90s. He was living proof that age doesn't have to dictate your vitality. Stay with me until the very end, because the simplicity and effectiveness of this might genuinely surprise you. Let's start with the very first thing Mr. Davies, my 90-year-old patient, did every single morning. He called it his morning wake-up drink, and it was surprisingly simple, yet incredibly powerful. Forget fancy supplements or complicated concoctions. His routine began with a large glass of warm water mixed with the juice of half a lemon and a generous piece of fresh ginger, grated finely. He would let the ginger steep for a few minutes before drinking it down, first thing before anything else touched his lips. Now, you might think, lemon and ginger? That sounds more like something for a cold. But the wisdom behind this simple drink is profound, and it taps into several fundamental aspects of maintaining not just general health, but specifically the kind of circulatory health crucial for erectile function. First, the warm water. Starting the day with warm water helps gently rehydrate the body after a night's sleep. Dehydration, even mild dehydration, can negatively impact blood volume and circulation. Think of your blood like a river. When the water levels are low, the flow slows down. Proper hydration helps keep that river flowing freely. For erections, robust blood flow to the pelvic area is absolutely essential. Anything that supports healthy circulation is a win. Adding lemon juice brings in a host of benefits. Lemons are a good source of vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant. Antioxidants help combat oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is like rust for your cells and blood vessels. It damages them over time. Healthy, flexible blood vessels are key to good circulation. Vitamin C also plays a role in the production of collagen, which is important for the structure of blood vessels. Beyond that, lemon water can help stimulate digestion and liver function, which contributes to overall detoxification and nutrient absorption. A body that's efficiently clearing out waste and absorbing nutrients is a body that functions better, top to bottom. Now, the star of the show in this morning ritual. Ginger. Ginger is a root with a long history in traditional medicine, and modern science is increasingly backing up many of its uses. For circulatory health, ginger is fantastic. It's known to be a vasodilator, meaning it helps relax and widen blood vessels, promoting better blood flow. This is directly beneficial for erectile function, which is fundamentally a vascular event. It requires healthy blood vessels to allow sufficient blood to flow into the penis. Ginger also has anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic low-grade inflammation in the body can damage blood vessels and contribute to conditions like atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries, which is a major cause of erectile difficulties as men age. By helping to reduce inflammation, ginger supports the health and flexibility of your arteries, including those crucial ones supplying the pelvic region. Furthermore, ginger has been studied for its potential to help lower blood pressure and cholesterol levels, both of which are risk factors for poor circulation and erectile dysfunction. Mr. Davies didn't talk about scientific studies. He just knew it made him feel warmer, more awake, and gave him a buzz of energy that lasted through the morning. He felt it got his blood moving right from the start of the day. He would also often mention that this drink just made him feel good. It was a ritual he enjoyed. He took his time preparing it, often grating the ginger fresh every morning, savoring the process. This brings up another subtle but important point: the power of routine and positive habit. Starting the day with a deliberate, healthy action sets a positive tone. It's an act of self-care, a signal to your body that you're paying attention to its needs. This psychological aspect shouldn't be underestimated. Feeling in control of your health, taking active steps, can reduce stress and boost confidence, all of which have positive ripple effects on physical function, including sexual health. Mr. Davies wasn't just drinking a beverage. He was performing a small daily ceremony dedicated to his well-being. He'd often joke that the warmth of the ginger spread through him like a gentle fire, waking up every part of his body. He felt it literally warming his extremities and giving him a sense of readiness for the day. This anecdotal experience aligns perfectly with ginger's known effects on circulation. It increases blood flow, which can lead to a sensation of warmth. This is exactly the kind of effect you want when aiming to improve blood flow to specific areas. So, the first pillar of Mr. Davies' ritual, his morning wake-up drink: warm water, lemon, and fresh ginger. Simple, accessible, and packed with benefits for circulation, inflammation, and overall vitality, all critical factors supporting healthy erectile function. He wasn't doing it specifically for erections initially, he said, but because it made him feel generally well, and the positive effects on that part of his life seemed to be a wonderful side effect of feeling healthy overall. He saw it as preparing his internal engine for the day ahead, clearing the pathways and ensuring everything was flowing smoothly. But this drink was just the start. Once he'd had his warm lemon and ginger, usually after about half an hour, he would move on to the next crucial part of his day, something he considered just as important as his morning tonic. This was his daily movement routine. He didn't go to the gym. He didn't lift heavy weights, and he certainly wasn't running marathons at 90. His movement was gentle, consistent, and focused on mobility and circulation. He would go for a brisk walk, not a leisurely stroll, but a walk where he felt his heart rate slightly elevated and his breathing deepen, enough to make conversation a little challenging, but not impossible. This walk would typically last for about 45 minutes to an hour, usually in a local park or along a quiet street. Walking is one of the most underrated exercises, especially as we get older. Its benefits for cardiovascular health are well documented. It strengthens the heart muscle, improves circulation, helps manage blood pressure and cholesterol, and contributes to maintaining a healthy weight. All of these factors are directly linked to erectile health. Think about it. An erection relies on a healthy cardiovascular system to pump blood efficiently. If your arteries are clogged or stiff, blood flow is restricted everywhere, including to the penis. Regular walking keeps your circulatory system in better shape, ensuring that blood can get where it needs to go when it needs to. Mr. Davies understood this intuitively. He felt that his daily walk was clearing the cobwebs, physically and mentally. He described it as oiling the machinery. He knew that sitting around all day wasn't doing him any favors. The movement kept his joints supple and his muscles active, preventing the stiffness and weakness that can often accompany aging. And importantly, walking engages the muscles in the legs and pelvis, helping to improve circulation in that specific region. While not as direct as targeted pelvic floor exercises, which we can touch on later, consistent movement of the lower body absolutely contributes to better blood flow downstairs. He didn't make excuses about the weather. Rain or shine, he would put on his walking shoes and get out there. He found it also helped his mood, clearing his head and giving him a sense of accomplishment before the day really got started. Mental well-being is incredibly important for sexual health. Stress, anxiety, and low mood can all negatively impact desire and performance. Regular exercise, like walking, is a powerful mood booster because it releases endorphins, natural feel-good chemicals. It also provides a sense of routine and purpose, which Mr. Davies valued highly. He often shared little stories from his walks, seeing the seasons change, greeting neighbors, watching the local wildlife. It wasn't just exercise, it was also his connection to the world outside his home. This social interaction, however brief, also contributes to overall well-being. Feeling connected and engaged with life is vital at any age, and isolation can have detrimental effects on both mental and physical health. So his walk wasn't just about moving his body, it was a holistic activity that nourished his physical, mental, and social self. The intensity of his walk was key, brisk, but not punishing. He wasn't trying to break any speed records. He aimed for a pace where he felt his heart working a bit harder, maybe a little breathless, but could still talk in short sentences if needed. This moderate intensity is excellent for building cardiovascular fitness without putting excessive strain on the body. Over time, this consistent effort strengthens the heart and improves the capacity of the blood vessels. He also paid attention to his posture while walking, standing tall and swinging his arms gently. This helps to engage the core muscles and promotes better breathing, allowing for more efficient oxygen uptake. More oxygen means more fuel for your muscles and organs, including those required for sexual function. He saw the walk as a moving meditation, a time to clear his mind and focus on his body. He wasn't thinking about his worries. He was simply present in the moment, enjoying the rhythm of his steps and the feeling of his body moving. One thing he was adamant about was consistency. He aimed to do this walk almost every single day. He understood that the benefits accumulated over time. Skipping a day here or there wasn't the end of the world, but the power came from the regularity. It became a non-negotiable part of his routine, as essential as brushing his teeth. He had built the habit so strongly that it felt unnatural not to do it. Building habits takes time and discipline up front, but eventually they become automatic and require less effort. Mr. Davies' simple morning ritual, the warm lemon and ginger drink followed by a brisk daily walk. These two steps taken before breakfast formed the foundational pillars of his approach to maintaining his health and vitality. They both focus on boosting circulation, reducing inflammation, and supporting overall cardiovascular health. which, as we've discussed, is absolutely vital for erectile function. He was essentially giving his body the best possible start to the day, clearing the pipes and getting the engine running smoothly. He firmly believed that these initial steps set the tone for the rest of his day and made everything else function better. He didn't need complex machines or expensive health club memberships. His tools were simple and available to almost anyone. He found a rhythm that worked for him and stuck to it. This consistency is perhaps the most important takeaway. It's not about doing something extreme occasionally. It's about doing simple, beneficial things consistently over the long haul. Now that we've looked at how he started his day, let's move on to what he put into his body throughout the day, focusing on specific foods that were staples in his diet and why they were so important to his continued health and vigor. Following his morning walk, Mr. Davies would turn his attention to fueling his body. His dietary habits were the next crucial piece of his daily ritual, and they were built around simple, nutrient-dense foods. He wasn't following a restrictive diet or counting calories religiously, but he was mindful of what he ate, focusing on foods that he knew made him feel good and provided sustained energy. He often referred to his diet as common sense eating, based on principles that have been around for generations. Plenty of vegetables, good quality protein, healthy fats, and avoiding processed junk as much as possible. One food group he ate every single day was leafy green vegetables. Things like spinach, kale, collard greens, and even simple lettuce were regular features in his meals, often making up a significant portion of his plate. He'd have spinach wilted with his eggs in the morning, a large salad with lunch, or generous portions of cooked greens with his evening meal. Why are leafy greens so important? Especially for the kind of health we're discussing, they are incredibly rich in nitrates. When you eat nitrates, your body converts them into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a superstar when it comes to blood flow. It's a powerful vasodilator, meaning it helps to relax the inner muscles of your blood vessels, causing them to widen. This allows blood to flow through more easily and efficiently. For achieving and maintaining an erection, optimal blood flow to the penis is non-negotiable. By regularly consuming nitrate-rich leafy greens, Mr. Davies was consistently providing his body with the building blocks for nitric oxide production, effectively helping his blood vessels stay relaxed and open. He compared it to keeping the pipes clean and wide open. If your pipes are narrowed or clogged, the water pressure drops. In your body, if your arteries are stiff or narrowed, blood flow is compromised. Nitric oxide helps keep those arterial pipes flexible and wide, ensuring good pressure and flow when needed. Beyond nitrates, leafy greens are also packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support overall health and reduce inflammation, further protecting those vital blood vessels. They are also a great source of fiber, which is important for digestive health and helps manage blood sugar levels, another factor that can impact circulation over time. Mr. Davies didn't necessarily know the exact science of nitrates and nitric oxide, but he knew that eating his greens made him feel energetic and healthy, and he trusted that feeling. Another staple in his diet was healthy fats, particularly those found in nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. He would have a small handful of mixed nuts, walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, as a snack each day. Walnuts, in particular, are known to contain L-arginine, an amino acid that is another precursor to nitric oxide production. So the nuts were essentially complementing the nitrates from his greens, providing multiple pathways for his body to produce this critical blood flow molecule. Nuts and seeds are also great sources of magnesium, zinc, and selenium, all minerals that play roles in hormone production and overall cellular function. Zinc, for example, is vital for testosterone production, and while testosterone isn't the sole factor in erectile function, healthy levels certainly contribute to libido and overall sexual vitality. He also made an effort to eat fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines a couple of times a week. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are renowned for their anti-inflammatory properties and benefits for heart health. Omega-3s help keep your blood vessels healthy and flexible, and can also help reduce blood stickiness, further promoting smooth blood flow. Mr. Davies often talked about how these foods made him feel satisfied and gave him sustained energy without the crashes he'd experienced years ago when he ate more processed foods. He saw healthy fats not as something to fear, but as essential fuel for his body and brain. Protein was also a key focus. He ate lean sources of protein with most meals: chicken, fish, eggs, lentils, and beans. Protein is essential for building and repairing tissues, including muscle. Maintaining muscle mass is important as you age for metabolism, strength, and mobility, but it also contributes to overall hormonal balance and vitality. Eating adequate protein helped him feel strong and capable. He often had eggs for breakfast, sometimes with his wilted spinach, a piece of fish or chicken with lunch or dinner, and he'd include lentils or beans in soups and stews. He prioritized whole, unprocessed protein sources. He also paid attention to fiber. Alongside his leafy greens, he ate plenty of other vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and pulses. Fiber is crucial for a healthy digestive system, but it also plays a role in managing cholesterol and blood sugar levels, indirectly supporting cardiovascular health. He had a bowel movement like clockwork every morning, which he attributed to his high-fiber diet and morning routine. He believed a clean and efficient digestive system was fundamental to overall health. And it's true. If your body is struggling with constipation or poor nutrient absorption, it puts a strain on your whole system. Mr. Davies' approach to diet wasn't about deprivation. It was about inclusion. He focused on adding in nutrient-dense foods that supported his health goals. He didn't forbid himself the occasional treat, but his daily foundation was built on vegetables, healthy fats, good protein, and fiber. He ate balanced meals and didn't snack excessively on sugary or processed items. He found that when he ate these kinds of foods consistently, his energy levels were stable, he felt less sluggish, and his body just seemed to work better. He wasn't just eating to fill up. He was eating to nourish every cell in his body, including those that were crucial for maintaining his sexual function. This mindful approach to food, seeing it as fuel and medicine, was a powerful part of his daily ritual. Now, beyond what he put in his body through food and drink, there were other aspects of his lifestyle that contributed to his remarkable well-being, focusing on how he managed his mind and his environment. Continuing with the pillars of Mr. Davies' incredible daily ritual, beyond the nourishment from within and the regular movement, he placed significant importance on how he managed stress and his mental state. He often said, "The mind affects the body, and the body affects the mind. You can't have one healthy without the other." He didn't use clinical terms like stress management or mindfulness. He simply called it keeping a calm head and a positive outlook. One of the ways he achieved this was by having a strong sense of routine and purpose. Every day had a structure. The morning ritual of the drink and the walk was just the beginning. He had regular times for meals, for pursuing his hobbies. Gardening was a big one for him, for connecting with others, and for rest. This predictability reduced uncertainty and anxiety. He wasn't just letting the day happen to him, he was actively shaping it. Having things to look forward to, tasks to complete, and activities he enjoyed gave him a sense of purpose, which is incredibly important for mental well-being at any age. Boredom and feeling useless can be significant sources of stress and low mood. Mr. Davies was always engaged in something that mattered to him, whether it was tending his prize-winning roses or reading about history. He also incorporated moments of quiet reflection into his day. This wasn't formal meditation, but simply taking a few minutes to sit quietly, focus on his breathing, and clear his mind. Often, he would do this while sitting in his garden after his walk, or perhaps in the late afternoon. He saw it as hitting a reset button for his nervous system. We know now that chronic stress floods the body with hormones like cortisol. Elevated cortisol levels can negatively impact testosterone production, damage blood vessels over time, and increase inflammation. Furthermore, anxiety and stress can directly interfere with the neurological signals required for achieving an erection. By consciously creating moments of calm throughout his day, Mr. Davies was actively counteracting the physiological effects of stress. He was allowing his body's rest and digest system to engage, which is essential for recovery and optimal function. Another key component he often mentioned was the importance of sleep. He aimed for 7-8 hours of quality sleep each night. He had a regular bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. He made sure his bedroom was dark, quiet, and cool. He understood that sleep wasn't just downtime. It was a crucial period for repair and regeneration. During deep sleep, your body performs vital maintenance tasks, including hormone regulation. Testosterone, for example, is largely produced during sleep, particularly REM sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation can lower testosterone levels, increase cortisol, and generally throw your hormonal balance out of whack. It also impacts mood, energy levels, and cognitive function, all of which can indirectly affect sexual health. Mr. Davies treated sleep with respect, not as a luxury, but as a necessity. He felt that a good night's sleep made him feel physically restored and mentally sharp, ready to face the day. He also cultivated a positive social network. While he was independent, he wasn't isolated. He had regular contact with his family, friends, and neighbors. He was part of local clubs related to his hobbies. Maintaining social connections is vital for mental and emotional health. Feeling supported and connected reduces stress and provides a buffer against loneliness and depression, which can have significant negative impacts on physical health, including sexual function. Sharing laughs, stories, and simple companionship provided him with joy and reduced feelings of isolation. Mr. Davies also had a remarkable outlook on aging itself. He saw it not as a decline, but as a different phase of life with its own unique possibilities. He focused on what he could do, rather than dwelling on what he couldn't. He remained curious and open to learning new things. This positive mindset is incredibly powerful. Our beliefs about aging can actually influence how we age physically. If you believe that decline is inevitable, you're less likely to take steps to maintain your health. If you believe that vitality is possible, you're more likely to adopt habits that support it. Mr. Davies had a fundamental belief in his body's ability to function well, and he supported that belief with consistent positive actions. He wasn't afraid to talk about his health, including this aspect of his life, with his doctor, which is how I came to know his story. Open communication with healthcare professionals is also part of a proactive approach to health. He wasn't shy or embarrassed. He saw it as simply another aspect of his overall well-being that he wanted to maintain. This willingness to discuss and address health concerns is something many men, particularly older men, can struggle with, often suffering in silence. Mr. Davies's openness was refreshing and empowering. So, adding to his morning ritual and diet, Mr. Davies' routine included deliberate steps to manage stress through routine and quiet reflection, prioritize ample quality sleep, maintain strong social connections, and cultivate a positive mindset towards aging. These elements, often overlooked when people focus solely on diet and exercise, are critical for hormonal balance, mental well-being, and reducing systemic inflammation, all of which create a supportive environment for healthy blood flow and nerve function, the two primary requirements for erectile function. He understood, perhaps without articulating it scientifically, that his body worked as an interconnected system, and true health meant supporting all its different parts, from the physical machinery to the emotional and mental state. It was this holistic approach, combining physical habits with mental and emotional well-being, that I believe was the real secret behind his remarkable vitality. It wasn't one single magic bullet, but the synergy of multiple simple, consistent actions working together. He wasn't just adding years to his life, he was adding life to his years in every sense of the phrase. Next, I want to bring everything together and talk about the power of consistency and belief, and how you can start implementing some of these principles in your own life, regardless of your age. So, there you have it. The daily ritual of my 90-year-old patient, Mr. Davies, wasn't some complex medical protocol or an expensive treatment. It was a collection of simple, consistent habits focused on fundamental aspects of health. Boosting circulation right from the start of the day with his lemon ginger drink, ensuring regular, beneficial movement through his daily walk, nourishing his body with nutrient-rich, unprocessed foods, actively managing stress and cultivating a calm mind, prioritizing quality sleep, and maintaining social connections alongside a positive outlook on life and aging. He didn't do all of these things perfectly every single day, and he wasn't dogmatic about it, but he was remarkably consistent. He understood that the cumulative effect of doing these small, beneficial things day after day, week after week, year after year, was what truly made the difference. It wasn't about seeking a quick fix or chasing a youthful ideal. It was about supporting his body's natural ability to function well, providing it with the right conditions to thrive even as it aged. The key wasn't just what he did, but how he did it. He approached his ritual with a sense of purpose, enjoyment, and self-respect. It wasn't a chore. It was an integral and valued part of his day. He listened to his body and adjusted as needed, but he didn't let small setbacks derail him completely. If he missed his walk one day, he'd make sure to do it the next. If he indulged a little at a family gathering, he'd simply return to his usual healthy eating pattern afterwards. This flexibility and lack of self-criticism are also part of maintaining a positive mindset. Mr. Davies' story is a powerful reminder that age is not necessarily a barrier to vitality and well-being. While some decline in function is a natural part of aging, the extent of that decline is often significantly influenced by lifestyle choices. His ritual demonstrates that focusing on fundamental health principles, circulation, nutrition, stress, sleep, and mindset can have profound effects, even in advanced years. You might be thinking, that sounds like a lot. But remember, these were habits he had built over a long time. You don't have to implement everything at once. The most powerful way to start is by picking just one or two things and focusing on making them a consistent part of your own routine. Maybe it's starting your day with that warm lemon and ginger drink. Maybe it's committing to a 20-minute brisk walk every morning. Or perhaps it's making a conscious effort to include leafy greens with your meals. Start small, build consistency, and then gradually add other habits as you feel ready. Small changes, consistently applied, truly do lead to big results over time. Remember, Mr. Davies' approach. It was about supporting his body, not fighting against it. It was about providing the right environment for health to flourish. And the benefits weren't just confined to one area. By focusing on overall well-being, he saw improvements across the board, including in areas like energy levels, mood, sleep quality, and yes, sexual function. It was all interconnected. Feeling hesitant or like it's too late to start? Mr. Davies was 90 years old when I met him, and he was still reaping the rewards of habits he had nurtured for decades, but also continuing to live actively and make conscious choices about his health. That day. It is never too late to make positive changes that can improve your quality of life. Every healthy choice you make is a step in the right direction, a gift you give to yourself. Don't get discouraged if you don't see dramatic results overnight. Consistency is key. It's like saving money. Small deposits made regularly add up to a substantial sum over time. Your health is an investment, and the returns come in the form of increased energy, better mood, greater confidence, and a body that functions more effectively, including in areas that are important for intimacy. Mr. Davies' story isn't just about physical function. It's about embracing life fully at every age. It's about taking agency over your health and choosing habits that support your vitality and happiness. It's about proving that aging doesn't mean fading away. I hope Mr. Davies' ritual gives you some inspiration and practical ideas you can incorporate into your own life. What part of his routine resonates most with you? Or perhaps you have your own simple habits that you found helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Please share them in the comments section below. Your insights could be incredibly valuable to others in this community. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It helps others find this information. And if you're looking for more ways to live a healthier, more vibrant life at any age, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching and spending this time with me. Remember, you have the power to make positive changes that can significantly impact your health and happiness. Live your best life at every age.